Hey guys, Lord Naren White here, the Holy Ghost, the one true God, back with you with the next video in my Pentiment playthrough. This week, continuing on with Pentiment. Without further ado, let's have some fun. Alexander, hello. Are you one of the burgers? My man and I are in need of refreshments. Magdalene, there are three burgers, Nico, Hannah, and Killian. And I'm not Hannah. Or I'll say, no, I just live nearby. I'm Magdalene Druckern. Alexander, from the, print shop. We passed on the way into town. Magdalene, yes, I'm running it for my father while he's recovering from an injury, or, yes, it's my father's. Alexander, not much business for a print shop at this time of year, is there? Not, nor for a land house. It looks like the travel has all dried up. Magdalene, we could say, it happens every autumn, or, how did you wind up here? You don't look like a merchant. We'll say the first. Alexander, the weather turned rotten, and I was hoping we could wait it out here for a few days before moving on. I am Alexander. This is my partner, Kazimierz. We are musicians by trade, travelers by necessity. We just purchased a new instrument for Kazimierz in Padua. The luthiers are extraordinary. We're heading back to Würzburg for the Christmas celebration. Quite an important competition there for the Meister singers. The weather turned rotten so quickly. The rain has been awful, and the roads through the passes have all been mud. I don't know if we'll be able to make it to the competition now. If the passes do close before we're able to move on, will they open up soon? Magdalene, we could say, never lose hope, or is March soon, or I'm afraid not. Once the pass is snowed in, you're going to be waiting a while. We will say, never lose hope. Alexander, of course, but that's not encouraging. We hold on to hope against what all reason tells us. I suppose I should plan for us to stay here through the winter. Sorry, Kaz. Kazimierz, it's all right. Alexander, do the people here like music? Magdalene, we could say, I think it depends on the music. Or have you ever been someplace where people didn't like music? Or yes, of course. Alexander, excellent. And we will endeavor to entertain you and your neighbors with our songs. Magdalene, good luck to you, or I look forward to hearing it. Alexander, thank you. Until then. Nico, Magdalene. Good to see Nico back here. So we need to talk with Baltas, I believe, before we finish the mural. So that's all we need to do at this point is talk with Baltas. We might be able to talk with Agnes. Let's see if we can talk with Agnes. I think we probably can. I thought so. She's a pretty important character. Being Lucky's wife. Paulo. He's pissed. Werner doesn't look too good. Werner is snort. Ugh. Magdalene. Hey, or wake up, or Werner? Werner. Magdalene. Prod him with your foot, or wake up, damn you. Or hey, you'll freeze if you stay out here. Werner. Zzz. Magdalene. I don't have the strength to carry him home. I have to tell someone. Maybe Baltas. They're still on friendly terms. Ganaziu could help. Or Big Jorg. He's strong. He can do it. Ugh, what a mess. Let's tell let's get Big York's help. Big York, hey Magdalene, can I help you with something? Magdalene, I found Dr. Stoles passed out drunk by the bakery, sleeping in a ditch. Big York, again? For God's sake, for Christ's sake, it's happening occasionally. It happening occasionally is fine. But the man can't hold his beer. Magdalene, if you say so, can you help him? Or, to be blunt, even occasionally doesn't seem proper to me. Big York, ah, of course. I'll go fetch him. Thanks, Magdalene. Magdalene, nod. You want to talk to Ressi? No. Let's check Alban Baker actually while we're here. See if we can't have a conversation with anybody here. Great, just right here. No, just this. Okay, thanks. So we'll go talk with Baltas now before we finish our mural. So I'm not sure if anyone is in Stoles' house. I don't think so. No. And yeah, now we'll go talk with Baltas. We'll talk with what a mess. I don't know how Baltas. Okay, we've had that conversation. Baltazar. Magdalene. Hello, Baltas. Do you have a moment? Baltazar. Only one, I'm afraid. What can I do for you? Magdalene. I came across a book about the history of Tassing, and I was hoping you could help me read it. Baltazar. Oh, no, not today. I'm far too busy for that at the moment. Ganazio and I have our hands full preparing the Christmas ale, you see. Magdalene. Oh, of course. Sorry to bother you. Baltazar. Not at all. Apologies I couldn't be of more help. Ganazio. Ciao, Magdalene. Magdalene. Hello, Ganazio. How are you? Ganazio. I'm well. The winter is approaching quickly, no? What is it you say here, perked up pinching at your nose? Magdalene. We could say, you've caught our customs quickly, or, haha, yes, that is the saying. Ganazio. Baltas has been explaining many of your funny Bavarian sayings to me. I must admit, they are rather charming, even if the language is a bit rough to my tongue. Magdalene. Will you be staying in Tassing long enough to learn more of our funny sayings? Ganazio. I should return to Genoa soon, but Baltas and I have some business to conduct. It has taken longer than I anticipated to complete. His accounts are complex. I may be forced to remain a few more weeks. Dio, who knows? Magdalene. We could say, it must be difficult for you to be so far from home for so long, or I pray that you'll be able to return home before winter sets in, or are you sure the bookkeeping is correct? You've already been in Tassing for so long. Ganazio. Oh, yes. The numbers are perfectly correct. Baltas has many large accounts to manage, and many interests across the continent. I only wish to return to Genoa before any heavy snowfall. Otherwise my journey will take twice as long. Magdalene. I'll let you get back to work then. Grazie, Magdalene. Until later. So let's finish the mural, in the middle part of the mural at least. Well, we actually don't seem to be able to make any progress here. What's going on here? Should talk to Sister Gertrude. Elsa. Okay. We need to talk with Sister Gertrude, it seems. So that's good we were able to see that at least. Hmm. I should talk to Sister Gertrude since she was a Benedictine nun at Kiersau before the poor Clares arrived. She would be able to tell me all about the convent's history for the mural. Let's talk with Kraft here. Kraft. Oh, hey there. Magdalene. Hello, Kraft. What are you doing here? Kraft. Nothing. Magdalene. Aren't you supposed to be, well, doing whatever you do all day long? Kraft. What I do is none of your concern, Mags. Magdalene. If you're doing something improper, it'll soon be the concern of Big York to begin with. Kraft. Damn. Caught by the imperial law herself. What? I'm not allowed to just stand near the shrine in the convent. Magdalene. Yes, maybe you'd enjoy doing whatever you do somewhere else. Kraft. Any place is better than here. Until later, Archdeacon Druckren. So let's talk with Sister Gertrude. Gertrude. God bless you, Magdalene. Magdalene. Hello, sister. I have a favor to ask of you. Gertrude. Of course, Magdalene. I'll help however I can. Magdalene. I have a book, the Historia Taciae, and I can't read it very well. Can you help me translate it? Gertrude. Oh, I'm afraid my Latin isn't good enough to translate something like that. Its grammar structures are far too complex. I'm sorry, Magdalene. Magdalene. That's all right, sister. I'll have to find another way. There was one more thing, if you don't mind. It's about the Rathaus mural. Gertrude. Oh, did you need more paint? I believe I have enough gauze stowed away. Magdalene. No, thank you, sister. I have more than enough paint. I wanted to ask you about the history of Kiersau, actually. I'd like to include the Abbey's founding and the history of tassing saints to the Rathaus mural. I wrote to Reverend Matthew since he lived at the Abbey, but wanted to see the place firsthand. Gertrude. Brother Matthew became a reverend, did he? He was always suited to such a role. But I don't suppose that what you came up the hill for. You're curious about the saint's history, yes? Magdalene. Yes. I was hoping that you could show me around the convent and tell me about its history. Gertrude. The poor Clares don't allow outsiders within the convent, even other women. Mother Francisca wouldn't like anyone coming in for such a worldly concern. Magdalene could say, ugh, that old bag, or well, that makes my job difficult, or I understand. Gertrude. However, Mother Francisca always welcomes those who are considering joining the order. If a young woman sincerely considered joining the convent, she may be allowed to enter and observe the sisters. Who knows what else she may discover while contemplating the holy life, Magdalene could say, yes, I see, or, well, I suppose exploring all of my options can't hurt, or, I have always been drawn to your veil, sister. There's something about the fashion. Gertrude. Touring the convent will take some time. Would you like to go to see Mother Francisca now? Magdalene. We could say, no, I have other things to do first, or, yes, let's go. Gertrude. Mother Francisca. I'd like to introduce you to Madeline Druckren. Francisca. The printer's daughter, yes. God bless you, Magdalene. Father Thomas told us of your father's condition, and we pray for his recovery daily. Magdalene. Oh, thank you, Abbess. Or I didn't know you had heard about that. Madeline. We will say, oh, thank you. Francisca. Such is our duty to serve the Lord and the community that provides for us. Now, what is this about? Sister Gertrude, you know our holy rules. Why bring young Mistress Stricker unto me? Gertrude, forgive me, mother. Magdalene is searching for a place in the world, and is contemplating the holy life. I thought observing the sisters might aid her in her spiritual search. She was encouraged by the idea. Magdalene, right, yes. Francisca, ah, so you've decided to consider my offer after all. If God is calling you to the convent, I am more than willing to help you fulfill that divine cause. What brought this change on? Why are you interested in joining the poor Clares? We could say, I'm worried that helping my father running the shop alone and finishing the mural are all too much for me. Or, well, if I become a sister, I won't have to marry, which is far better than being stuck bearing kids for the rest of my life. Or lie, I had a holy vision. Saint Satia told me that I was destined for higher things. Or what we will say, which is, I've been reading about the saints and feel called to learn more about their lives and dedication to God. Francisca, you can certainly devote yourself to the life of saints with us as a sister. The life of contemplation leads to fulfillment to which no earthly reward can compare. Please, come. I am happy to tell you more of our order. Francisca, our small convent used to be part of the larger Kearsarge double monastery, as I'm sure you've been told by Sister Gertrude. However, the poor Clares live far differently than the Benedictines that once lived here. We believe that it is not ours to produce, and live solely on the alms of the community of Tassing, as they see fit to give. Likewise, none of the sisters here own any personal property. We share this convent as a gift from the Church. We believe that God called us into a life of poverty and service. Does such a life appear to you, Magdalene? Magdalene, I'm not entirely certain yet. I'd like to explore and look around, get a feel for the place. Francisca, Magdalene, you must not have understood me. We have deliberately closed ourselves off from the world. I won't have a laywoman bothering the sisters from their duties or disturbing our rule. However, I will allow Sister Suzanne to show you our duties. Please take your time. When you have finished, please come find me, and we will discuss your decision to join. Magdalene, finally, I thought you'd never finish. Suzanne, what? Magdalene, truthfully, I'm not here to join the convent. I'm looking for references for a mural I'm painting in the Rathaus. We could say, well, I'm going to look around. Where are we going first? Or, now that the lecture is over, I can get on with what I came here for. Are you coming? Or, time to start exploring. You can either come or not. Up to you. Suzanne, what Mother Francisca said. Magdalene, she said that as long as I'm with you, I'm fine to look around. Are you really going to get us both in trouble? Suzanne, no. I always follow Mother Francisca's orders. The convent has many parts: the kitchen, the loquarium, the chapter house, the yard, and the old workshop, though no one uses that old shed anymore. I'll leave it to you to decide where to go first. Let's see the chapel. Suzanne, this is the chapel, where we all gather for Mass and liturgy. It's the oldest part of the convent. Gertrude, and the most drafty. Magdalene, hello again, Sister Gertrude. Gertrude, the sisters have done some minor retouches over the years, but it has represented the abbey from its earliest days. Magdalene, oh, there's the tower and the library. The cloister is still being constructed here. Gertrude, yes. The tower was a Burgfried long before the structure became a monastery. Burgfried, a freestanding defensive tower not built for permanent habitation. Suzanne, the duchy gifted it to the Benedictine order after the Holy Roman Empire grew. They had no use for it as a keep. Gertrude, these walls have protected Tassing from attacks of spirit and steel for generations. Magdalen, there's some Latin here too, but I can't read it very well. Suzanne, God called Lady Sabine to lead our sisters and brothers in 1261. Lord Kearsaw's castle was destroyed by fire in the year of the death of Emperor Frederick II. Only the tower remained. Gertrude, thank you, Sister Suzanne. Yes, the first lists the abbey's founding date. The Lady Kearsaw was actually the one to suggest the old castle be turned into a double monastery. We added the second shortly after the revolt. Mother Illuminata thought it would be fitting, even if the sisters were not here, some record of what occurred would remain. Kearsaw is unique, a double monastery with two saints, one male and one female, to guard the town and abbey. Magdalen, we could say, so the foundation of the abbey was even older than the Holy Roman Empire? Or, it seems odd that a monastery would reuse a place meant for war and force. Or, fascinating to think that even before the Duke was gifted it to the church, the fortification was founded by Saint Moritz. Gertrude, many things have been built and torn down on this land over generations. Who knows what else used to be here? Magdalen, you were right, sister. This mural will be a great reference for the Rathaus. Gertrude, then I'm glad to have helped. God bless you, Magdalen. Suzanne, here's the loquarium. Most of the Abbey's visitors come in here, but aren't allowed to enter. We aren't allowed to go into the outside world either. Like Mother Francisca said, isolation is a part of our vows. Sister Gertrude once told me the old Benedictine sisters used to go out into town sometimes, and even talk to men on occasion. And I'm stuck here, staring at these walls, for the rest of my life. Magdalen, we could say, are you unhappy here, Sister Suzanne? Or, you didn't always want to be a poor Clare, sister? Or, do you regret your choice to become a sister? It doesn't seem like Sister Suzanne thinks much of her life here. I can't blame her, or it must seem like a boring life to her. Even so, she doesn't seem to have the passion that Sister Gertrude and the others have. If she hates her life here so much, maybe I should encourage her to leave the order. Or she must have chosen to stay here for some reason. Maybe I should encourage her in her vocation. Better to leave while she has a future ahead of her. After all, there are plenty of young men in Bavaria who would make good husbands. Still, there may be some reason she chose to stay. I don't want to overstep my bounds. We'll say, are you unhappy here, Sister Suzanne? I don't know, Suzanne says. My father promised me to the church as a baby, some oath he swore when my mother struggled in her pregnancy. So there I was, dropped into the Poor Clares the summer I turned 17. Magdalen, and they took you in, just like that. Nobody asked what you wanted. Or, I'm so sorry. No one should be forced into a life they don't want. Or, isn't becoming a nun an honor? Suzanne, why should they? The Poor Clares rely on the offerings of others, even their children, to subsist. My family is devoted to the church. I've only been in the convent for 2 years, but I'm trying my best. I don't mind the prayers or the hours, and I'm sure of my devotion to the Lord, but this isn't what I wanted. But since when did a woman ever get what she wanted without being punished? Eve couldn't even manage it. Magdalen, we can only do the best we can. I pray that one day it'll be different. Or, I understand. I have more autonomy to go where I want, but I'm still bound by the expectations of marriage and homemaking. Or it's not so bad, is it? Suzanne, maybe, but we certainly won't ever live to see it. Sometimes I get jealous of Sister Gertrude and even Sister Margaret. At least they got to see something of the outside world before they were 20. Magdalene. Hey, you're protected here from the plague and the Protestant rebels. It's a good life. Or, why don't you leave? Or, I think you're lucky. You don't have to deal with boys. Or, if you could do anything else, what would it be? Or, don't forget Matilda and Wodslav. They used to be a part of Kearsarge too. Suzanne. I would have liked to go to one of the big cities at least once. I would have been happy just to be a shopkeeper's wife. Sigh. Thanks for listening, Magdalene. Anyway, let me show you the rest of the cloister. Magdalene, lead on. Bless you, Magdalene. The kitchen. Suzanne, this is the kitchen. There's not anything interesting here. Sister Marie and Sister Lizabelle take care of most of the kitchen duties, but everyone pitches in when needed. Isabel, God bless you, Magdalene. Magdalene, God bless you, sister. How goes the cooking? Isabel, as well as the Lord wills it. My old fingers fumble from time to time, but it is my privilege to prepare supper for the other sisters. Magdalene, that's very noble of you. Or, shouldn't someone else be helping you, sister? Or, that seems excessive. We'll go with the first one. Isabeau, just as God gave Paul a thorn in his side, so too did he give me the pains of age to strengthen my faith. Such things are a blessing when compared to the pains Christ carried upon the cross. Magdalene, I don't believe the Lord wants us to suffer, sister. Or, but didn't Christ die so that we don't have to suffer unnecessarily? Or, sounds like a lot of extra pain for nothing to me. Isabel, no, child. He does not. Christ's death opened the door to an eternal life without pain. But as long as our souls are bound in this world, suffering will exist. I have chosen to find meaning and devotion to the Lord through my hardship. We could say, I don't really understand, but I'm glad it helps you persevere, or thank you for sharing your perspective with me, sister. Yezabo, you are most welcome, child. God bless you. Marie, God bless you, child. Are you delivering something? Magdalene, no, sister. I'm learning more about the convent's history so that I can finish a mural in town. Or, oh, I'm considering joining the convent, so Mother Francisca graciously allowed me to visit with you. We'll say the first. Marie, I see. This kitchen has been used for decades, longer than I've been alive, to be sure. I enjoy preparing meals for the sister that nourish us, but I can never bring myself to butcher the animals. Sister Yisabao has graciously taken on that task for me. We need sustenance, but I feel butchering an animal, any animal, is wrong, according to the rule of St. Francis. The rule. The rule of St. Benedict of Nursia is a book of instructions for monks living together under the guidance of an abbot. Written in the 6th century, the rule provides the principles for living a monastic life. To cause suffering to any living creature is unnecessary and evil, even if God granted Adam and Eve dominion over the animals. Magdalene. The kitchen seems fairly simple. Is there anything here from the convent's founding days? Marie. No more than the structure itself, I'm afraid. Cookware needs replacing over the years, though some nights a ghost appears to me by the cook fire. A lost spirit trapped between heaven and hell. Suzanne. Sister Marie, not this again. Not to Magdalene, please. We could say, that's ridiculous. Ghosts aren't real. Or, what made you think you saw a spirit, sister? Or, could it have been a ghost of one of the sisters from the founding of the convent? Maybe even Saint Tessia? Marie, if it was, she has never said a word to me, though I fell prostrate in prayer before her. The spirit, whoever it is, rose up through the ground at vigils. Dawn and dusk are the hours when the boundaries between this world and the spiritual world are weakest. We may be the newest arrivals here, but this convent is very old. Perhaps there was something Roman underneath this foundation centuries before. The spirit may seek to know the presence of God now that it rests on holy ground. Magdalene, we could say a spirit in Girsa? Why would it come to the convent, though? Or, a Roman spirit might be a great addition to the mural. I don't know that the council would approve, or I really think it must have been something else, sister. Marie, it breaks my heart to think that this spirit was crying out for help, trapped beyond heaven's reach. Suzanne, why don't we keep going, Magdalene? It's better not to get Sister Marie too upset. Magdalene, of course. God bless you, sister. Marie, God bless you, child. And that's where we'll go ahead and end the video there for this week. With that, I want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe as it greatly helps the channel. Light be with you all. Take care, and thanks again.